Государственный гимн Российской Федерации.
National anthem of the Russian Federation.
An awesome noise of 78,000 voices, and awesome manager in Goose Hiddink, who has done tremendous things at previous World Cups, at previous clubs, but now with his club duties with Chelsea, temporarily earlier this year, permanently put aside. He's had to concentrate on putting Russia back at the top table, having failed to qualify for the last World Cup in Germany 3.5 years ago. Makari, it's all about how Slovenia can cope with this tonight, isn't it? We'll come to you in a moment, but Russian concerns about their recent form haven't manifested themselves in Goose Hiddink's selection. All four English-based players feature, despite most of them not being club regulars. So Pavlyuchenko starts, as do Bilyan Letinov and Yuri Zhirkov of Chelsea, who's only played twice since moving to Stamford Bridge. Bojan Jokic was the only injury worry in the Slovenian squad. It's as attack-minded as manager Matej Cech could have fielded. Igor Akanthiev is the man who Russia will be hoping, and Goose Hiddink will be hoping, can keep a clean sheet against Slovenia tonight.
Well, the pressure's certainly on Russia, Will. They're expected to win this game. They're expected to qualify. Slovenia have done exceptionally well to get this far. No pressure on the Slovenian side. But I think Goose Hiddink there, he's been through all this before, he's seen it all before. But certainly tonight, the pressure is on Russia.
The man who officiated Liverpool against Chelsea and Manchester United Arsenal in last season's Champions League is in charge tonight. Claus Bo Larsen of Denmark. Only once have Slovenia reached the World Cup finals in their short history. How they perform tonight will be a major indication if they're on their way to South Africa. It's already managed the Dutch, the South Koreans and the Australians at a World Cup. Hiddink aiming for a four-timer over these two ties. "208 days to go to the World Cup, but for Russia and Slovenia, it's only 180 minutes away." Pavlyuchenko was the leading scorer in the campaign for Russia with 5. Slovenia have won themselves in Milivoje Novakovic. It won't be won tonight. Slovenia will hope it won't be lost. Plenty of familiar faces in the Russian side, but only 5 play outside the Russian Premier League. This is Igor Denisov of Zenit, one of 13 in the squad who's won a UEFA Cup. Russian clubs have come to the fore, Eastern European clubs coming to the fore in Europe in recent seasons. Touched forward swiftly, Shemat was lurking, and it came off the hand of Andrei Ashevit. for a Slovenian free kick. Matjaž Kek was a decent club manager at Maribor before he got the call. This is Zurianov of Zenit. Was well held up by Boštjan Cesar of Grenoble. All of the Slovenian squad play outside their borders. Pavlyuchenko waiting in the middle, and Arshavin arriving too. Anyukov is on this near side, but it's a poor one. Denisov again. Too far for everyone, but the Russian offensive already made clear, Luke.
Well, without a doubt, it's what we expected, Will. Russia right from the off, on the attack. A little glimpse there of the Slovenian manager. Didn't look as if he had a care in the world. But of course, when it comes to the playoffs, as good as it may be for the neutrals, for managers and for the players, the anxious moments.
Matjaž Kek has said all he's needed to. Can't have much more effect now. A daunting atmosphere for Slovenia to step into. The main hope will be that the tie is still alive when they return to Ljubljana on Wednesday. Just slightly offside, but spotted by Henrik Sonneby, the assistant on this near side, and there's Norrestrand as the other flag.
Well, without a doubt, to keep the tie alive, it's down to the back four and goalkeeper, especially tonight.
Early test for Akanfiev, who was equal to it. Might have a word or two for the defending though, not terribly tight. This is Anyukov. Anyukov's throw. And by Denisov, his Zenit teammate. Interesting how Gus Hiddink has decided to persevere with some of the players with Western European clubs who aren't getting much of a look in at the moment. Reports that Roman Pavlyuchenko wants to leave Tottenham. He's only had a handful of games this season. He's only played 6 times. Zirkov's only played twice since joining Chelsea, but hitting confident enough.
It's certainly a good show from Pavlyuchenko tonight. They're just getting that move that he's after. I really don't see him having a future at Spurs, Will. I think that's clear. Harry Redknapp's left him out time and time again.
This is Alexander Radoslavljevic of Tomtomsk, and who will know a lot of the Russian squad very well, considering that's where he's based. Cesar one in the air. Pavlyuchenko couldn't make the breakthrough that time, but they are testing the Slovenian defence early. This is Andrzej Kirin of Wisła Krakow in Poland. Major similarities between the Slovenian squad and Ireland, and that they've all decided to earn their fortunes abroad. And Micho Breko, a Bundesliga veteran, holding off Yuri Zhirkov, who is anything but a veteran in his 6 months so far at Stamford Bridge. This is Brečko, one of 2 Slovenians who plays for FC Cologne, and very much an up-and-down side, a bit like West Brom in German football the last few seasons. And yes, they have a baggy in their starting 11 as well in Robert Koren. Forward by Jokic, the control was good by Dedic, and they have a free kick. Kirin pulled back by Igor Denisov. Man who Rangers fans will be familiar with. He scored the opening goal against them in the UEFA Cup final. Jokic. Koren's control. We'll find this a much higher step up than Championship football, of that there's no doubt. Every single one of the Russian starting 11 has played Champions League football. It's Kirin who will take the opening corner for Slovenia. Deep one, Bursa floating around there. Ultimately no danger.
As mentioned, the Slovenian defence depended on them tonight to keep this tie alive. But look at this Russian defence. Corner kick away to the back post. White shot, completely unmarked. Had that header been a little bit better, not so hard, and only be a problem to Russia.
It's complained to the back post though, wasn't it, that they hadn't spread up far enough. They're gaining slowly in confidence, Slovenia. Quick throw by Jokic is good for Kirin. Making progress by degrees with throw-ins. It's Jokic again. He's based in France with Sochaux, who reached the cup final there a few seasons ago. On by Korin, and good. Controlled by Novakovic. And they've won another one.
Well, they're doing okay, Slovenia. I expect them just to sit back and try and soak up the pressure, but not every opportunity they get going forward. Second corner in the space of a couple of minutes.
Well, it's their sole lone man up front, Volta Bursa, who's taking the corner. The French-based two in Auxerre. They've pushed a lot up. Novakovic is at the back post again. It was a good nod down. Kirin finding himself surrounded. Eventual strike was low and inaccurate, but a good try by Marco Schuler.
Must be worrying for Gus. I think 2 corners and twice Slovenian players unmarked in the box.
He's giving it a good go though. The opposition manager kept getting a major boost beforehand with Bojan Jokic passing that fitness test. Everybody else available. This is Anyukov of Zenit. Support left and right. On towards Zurianov. Everybody sent tumbling, almost the linesman also. It is a white ball.
It was almost a lovely back heel from Arshavin.
Would have been lovelier if Anyukov had just completed that one too. Novakovic is in support again. It's on by Dedic, back towards Novakovic. Needs support, arriving late, deflected off Bursa and almost in. They're giving it their best shot already, Slovenia.
Oh, how unlucky are Slovenia here. Lovely move, he's in the clear, looking for support. Lovely ball into the box, ball off Bursa. I think that was heading for the back of the net.
All the corners are theirs already. Too far this time for Novakovic. He's got a great goal-scoring record. It's better than 1 in 3. And he's created nearly everything so far, including that for Bursa.
Well, it's been an uncomfortable 10 minutes for Russia. We probably expected this to be one-way traffic, anything but.
They've made a game of it so far, Slovenia. They just need to get some reward from it. Long away by Anyukov, met by the head of Jokic. Good ball forward by Zhirkov. Arshavin on the chase, but held up by Bretsko. The Cologne teammate of Novakovic, who's been the busiest up front for Slovenia so far. The heel of Zurianov just about did enough. Couldn't quite find Pavlyuchenko. A North London strike force. A fall by Zurianov. A Russia free kick. And now they need to keep the ball in the Slovenian half under the immense pressure they've been under. Vasily Berezutski. He's slightly more experienced internationally of the twin. Alexei's on the bench. Jokic. And now Kirin. Cut out by Anyukot. Put on by Denisov was decent, but Arshavin was nowhere to be seen. Zirianov again with good control, and he's taking on Jokic. Good ball, Arshavin. Might drop for Pavlyuchenko. Whipped away by Bojan Jokic, who's had to be busy on both ends of the field so far, trying to release Dedic down the right. And to end so far has been brilliant. Hope it stays like this.
Oh, I'm sure it will. I mean, I've just been a little bit disappointed. I know there's only 12 minutes gone, but a little bit disappointed in Arshavin. It's a big game for him. He's expected to get Russia through. He's expected, I think, almost single-handed to win this game for them. And just sometimes he doesn't live up to the great reputation he's got.
Has been a major disappointment to a lot of Russian fans about how their top two teams of recent seasons have fared and how their Foreign Legion have fared too. I'd be more disappointed with Arshavin not holding on to possession. Side built on Zenit and CSKA, who have both won the UEFA Cup in recent seasons, but who've fallen down the Russian league standings slightly this campaign. And the only overseas-based player who's getting any regular football at all is their captain, Arshavin. Magnificent break! Stupendous save by Handanovic. Almost majestic by Zhirkov. Not been given much opportunity to do anything like that in England so far. This is Kirin now. Novakovic. Dedic waiting on the edge of the area, and Kirin with him. It will be a free kick. Sloppy challenge on Bersa by Dinatar, being let off of Everton. What a break.
That's an unbelievable run from Zhirkov from one end of the pitch to the other. Beats almost every player in a white shirt, but just can't get the ball past the goalkeeper. Wonderful run, great play, great shot with his left foot, and it's the left foot of Handanovic that comes to the rescue.
Floated in by Bersa, will pinball around. Novakovic couldn't get on the end of it. More that one. Ignashevich away, looking for Arshavin. Superb break by Zhirkov. Just got the head down and ran. Novakovic thought about doing the same. The final ball towards Bersa, disappointing. They needed to get back into the game, Russia, and they've done it like this.
Well, that's amazing, an amazing run. You just expect, well, that this cannot go on from now to the end of the game. End-to-end football.
Somehow, no goals yet. Touched on by Denisov. Turned down offer to play in Euro 2008 from Goose Hiddink. He was uncapped at the time, got the call a few weeks before the tournament and said, I'm not experienced enough yet. It says a lot about the depth of his responsibility. Pavlyuchenko needs some extra help. Support arriving down the wing, but he'll take it on his own. And it was the wrong option.
I must say, he looked a little bit laboured, Pavlyuchenko, in his movement. Laboured away from 2 or 3 players, but it took an age to get his sights set on the goal. And then when he did have a shot way over the crossbar.
Only scored once so far this season in comparison to 14 last campaign, but he's only made 2 starts this season under Harry Redknapp, and he's not been the happiest of White Hart Lane in recent months. Which came off the back of Arshavin, and he's receiving it back by Zirianov, but he couldn't go for it. He was in an offside position. Manyukov decided to pounce, having, I don't know if you noticed, but about a minute ago there was a stray ball roaming on the pitch which he decided to kick out, so no beach ball incident here. Arshavin struck away well by Marko Schurak. He's had the better of Pavlyuchenko so far, but will have to stay alert, because here goes Zirianov again, of Zenit. Again can't find Arshavin, and the front two have been well dealt with so far.
I think that's going to be the key to Slovenia's success tonight, dealing with the front two, keep Arshavin and Pavlyuchenko quiet, and we can go away from here with a decent result.
Tried to do it long from Sergei Shemak of Rubin Kazan. Champions League experience this season. It is ostensibly a difficult-looking group, but they've held their end up well, as have Russia in general. Only fell apart really in the final week for them when they lost to Germany and drew with Azerbaijan. Finishing second for Slovenia, a definite bonus, but they certainly want more now. Group in which the Czech Republic and Poland failed to make any advantage at all, and were finished in elimination rather early for them. Good header by Cesar of Grenoble. Another Russian throw. Barely a look in for Pavlyuchenko or Arshavin so far. But Zhirkov will take the throw after that amazing run. Again, he's second best behind Cesar.
Well, that's twice now balls have come into the box, and Cesar cleared under no pressure at all from Pavlyuchenko.
Given away, cut out by Novakovic. The home side still have the crowd behind them at least. This is Bojan Jokic. Looking for Bursa, but a good cut out by Vasily Berezutsky. And by Radoslavljevic. Superb ball, Novakovic lurking but headed away by Ignashevich. They haven't managed to quieten the crowd yet, despite all their early opportunities, Slovenia. And they're on the run again. Pavlyuchenko trying to find Arshavin. Play by Radoslavljevic, but not for long. Schuler under immense pressure, but he did his job well, and that's what Slovenia have done well throughout this campaign. Wins hammering away over Slovakia and San Marino. This has been the moment of the playoffs so far, though.
I think the back four looked reasonably well organised. That's probably the only time in this game, that run from Zhirkov, that the Russians have been able to penetrate the back four.
Magnificent run, and just a shame we've not had a chance to see more of him in the Premier League in England. I guess that's what happens when you sign up for a squad full of superstars. Across by Vasily Berezutsky. Now can Zhirkov start it all off again? He decided for a quicker option this time. But too far for Pavlyuchenko.
I Those balls from the back, they've got to be played into Pavlyuchenko's feet. Hasn't got the pace for the balls over the top.
Konstantin Zurianov has made it tick for Russia so far. There's not really been much of a touch for Samir Handanovic yet in the Slovenian goal. He's had it long looking for Berser, with Novakovic predictably supporting behind him once more. Controlled by Pavlyuchenko. Took three to deny him. Belatedly. Again Berezutsky, who must be feeling he's seen a lot more of it than he'd have liked to thus far. Zurianov. Anyukov is in support all alone down the right-hand side. It was a promising looking move and still could be. That's a beautiful ball to find Anyukov. Taking on Jokic. Back for Zurianov. Arshavin couldn't keep his balance or control, but they did find him at least.
Well, it's the first real glimpse we've had of him this evening, Arshavin. This is typical of him, wiggling his way in and out of one or two players. Just a little bit unfortunate he overruns that.
On his day, isn't he a fantastic player to watch?
Well, he is a fantastic player, and I think the only thing though, Will, is some days you just want to do something just to get your team in front. He doesn't deliver. I remember once or twice for Russia, just when I was expecting big things from him, it didn't happen. I'm just wondering whether tonight will be another one of those nights.
He's got 3 goals in this campaign, Andrei Arshavin. Pavlyuchenko's got 5. It was defeats home and away against Germany that cost them ultimately. Final night draw in Azerbaijan was relatively academic. They'd already lost their chances of winning the group by then. No cross aimed for Dedic in the middle, but cut away well by Ignashevich. Dedic back in support, 3 to aim for in the middle. Novakovic is at the back post, but a good play in by Igor Akanfiev to roll it out. And Zurianov on the move for Russia. Long by Denisov. It's gone awfully wide, Arshavin. Taking on Schuler. Pavlyuchenko waiting for support to arrive in the middle. And when it did arrive from Bunyatadinov, the whistle had denied him. But it is at least in Russia's favour. And the most famous fan was always going to be here. The edge of the area for Arshavin's free kick. Deep for Zurianov. Couldn't find Pavlyuchenko in the middle, who was lurking around that penalty spot. Sergei Semok, of whom we've seen very, very little so far. Cut out again by Bojan Jokic. They've defended well. Slovenia continue to push forward in droves when they need to. Dedic has won the throw off Ignashevich.
Oh, spot on, Will. They have defended well. Nice free kick there into the box. Great headed clearance, great defending.
Sure of get. Bostjan Cesar. And he's only scored twice for his country, but they've been vital ones, including the winner against Italy in the last World Cup qualifying campaign 5 years ago. Koren. Tricky one too was attempted with Kirim. And there is a big problem for Radostavljevic, but plays continued, and Dedic has tried to find a way past Akanfiev. Berezutsky there to police it wide.
Once again, getting through that Russian defence quite easily. This time it's Kirim, tight angle, squeezes it past the goalkeeper, just into the side netting.
Drew the goalkeeper well and slipped it between the legs of Igor Akanviev, but not on target. But they're continuing to probe Slovenia. Touched on by Novakovic. Samak's throw. Zutski, whose twin brother is on the bench, and likewise for Slovenia. Goalkeeper Samir Handanovic has his cousin also in the squad, also a goalkeeper. Anyukov. Let's go with the layoff. Kirim couldn't control. Another promising looking move. They never scored once for Slovenia, and that was against San Marino. So it hardly counts.
You just got a feeling the Russian lads just starting to feel the pressure. The majority of the crowd here would expect them to be in front by now. Certainly hasn't been the case. If anything, Slovenia have been more in control of this game.
The Russian crowd have been in tempo more than the Russian team so far. Another Slovenian throw. Won by Bojan Jokic. Fit to bear arms, and like most of this Slovenian squad, won honours at home before going abroad. And he's done well to keep it in and to whip the cross it, but couldn't find Novakovic leading the front three. Controlled by Pavlyuchenko, but not very well at all. Cut out by Brechko again. Zurianov has made things happen so far for Russia, and can he do it now for Arshevik, who did well? He won the physical battle with Cesar, who got his revenge and got the ball back. Kirin. And no hometown decision so far anyway. Strong refereeing from Klaus Larsen, and that's why he's rated as one of the best in Europe, why he gets so many big games.
Well, it was great refereeing from the Danish ref.
Pavlyuchenko denied by Shula. Did well to keep possession. Arshevin controlled it, kept his balance before going down. Again, no whistle from Klaus Larsen. He was in charge when Zenit beat Manchester United in the Super Cup in 2008. Constantly being rewarded with big games, and in terms of who makes it to the World Cup or not, they don't come terribly more important than this. It's by Zurianov again, who's been pretty much the only man who's made things move up front so far for Russia. Pressure on Pavlyuchenko, and too much this time. It's Russia's free kick, and a useful position given away by Boštjan Cesar.
That was Pavlyuchenko at his best, ball into his feet, twisting and turning.
No major pressure yet on Samir Handanovic in the Slovenian goal, but that could change. major summit meeting between Shemak and Siriankov. Milosevic as to who should strike. It is the latter. It's a great try, and Handanovic did so well to get down and save.
That's a great save from the goalkeeper. I thought that should have been retaken. Slovenian player only a couple of yards away when the ball was struck.
It will be Bilya Letinov with the corner kick. Poked away well by Cesar. Shemak again starting it off for Bilya Letinov. He's definitely had a lively time since joining Everton recently from Lokomotiv Moscow. A couple of goals and a red card as well. Arshavin, and the ball was out. That's the key thing about Bilya Letinov, as a few of the chaps from Radio City were telling me this week, is they've been trying to work out for ages how to pronounce his name.
Billy. That's what we call him.
I'll go with that. It was a brilliant strike by Ignashevich though, and that's the biggest test so far for Handanovic so far.
Well, it's the second good save of the game from Handanovic with his feet. Previous one from Zirkov after that wonderful run.
Too far for Dedic, but they pushed him a bit further forward, and Kieran as well. Bursa was the original lone front man up front for Slovenia. But thanks for that anyway. Lou Macari to the rescue again.
No,
Billy.
that's what they call him on Merseyside.
Are you surprised though? It must feel life at Goodison Park is constantly up and down, considering the poor start to the season they had in the league and then losing so heavily in Portugal in the Europa League. Away by Berezutski. It was Rado Savlovic with the long header forward trying to find Dedic. Cesar up in the air, the flip by Pavlyuchenko again, and it is a Slovenian ball.
I think it's fair to say, Will, if you didn't know a great deal about Slovenia before tonight, after what we've seen in the opening 34 minutes, you can say they're well organised, difficult to break through, and the manager, all credit to him, he's got a team on the verge of going to a World Cup final.
They too, I think, would have been aggrieved by the fact that seedings came into it from FIFA's point of view. Would have been rather tasty if they'd drawn Bosnia, you know, being such near neighbours and formerly part of the one country. Those who've had to fight hard to get recognition in terms of football since the breakup of Yugoslavia have qualified for 2 tournaments since coming back into being less than 20 years ago. They failed to get past the group stages of either the 2002 World Cup or Euro 2000. I fancy though they were just happy to be there. Jokic was never going to win the chase. Russian goal kick for Akanfiev.
I think he's a worried man. He probably thought they'd be in front by now, but the away side have played exceptionally well. I think unless we have a dramatic change in this game, I think it's safe to say that second leg is going to be very much alive on Wednesday night. Obviously Russia in the next 55 minutes will try to make sure that isn't the case.
Sirianov. Too long again for Pavlyuchenko to do anything with, and Handanovic just had to act very quickly when he saw the big Spurs front man striding towards him with intent. Both keepers haven't had a lot to do, but what they've done well. Forward by Schuler again and by Cesar. Useful centre-back combination for Slovenia. His performances so far have meant that Pavlyuchenko and Arshavin haven't been seen terribly much. Kept in by Sergei Ignashevich. Only ever scored 4 times for Russia, but one of those was against Ireland. An orthodox back pass by Anyukov, but it worked for Akenviev.
Once again, plenty of white shots there, and that ball's pushed forward. Seems to be no way through for the Russians.
Maybe now with the free kick. Nice ball, Larson putting his foot down. After Radoslavljevic did the same, knocking over Yuri Zhirkov. Through with Zirianov, support still there from Shemak. Again, the familiar frontman left waiting. Dedic got the touch, but couldn't get a second. Ignashevich in the way. The thing about Zhirkov, he's impressed so much in this game, you just wonder why you don't see more of him with Chelsea.
Oh, it's a difficult squad and club to break into. Well, I think that's the problem. In that left-back position, Ashley Cole
persevered with Zhirkov and Pavlyuchenko, Billy and Letinov, even though they've not been getting a huge amount of games. And Zirianov, who's been getting lots of game time at Zenit this season. The free kick himself, and the main men are waiting on the edge of the area. Held in by Zirianov with some pace. Another superb firm header by Schuler. Has to track back again. Perfect for Handanovic to claim.
Every time that ball goes into the Slovenian box, you just get a feeling that a white shirt's going to jump up and head it away. Certainly been the case in the opening half. Defended fantastically well.
Kirin, 2 in support in the middle, but a fine challenge by Alexander Anyukov. They're on the move again, and Arshavin wants it forward, and he's turned Brechko. Pavlyuchenko waiting in the middle, but Brechko's just done enough. The entire back four has been tested by Arshavin and Pavlyuchenko, but they've got the upper hand so far. Anyukov. Pavlyuchenko presented himself. Good touch shot. Bilyatinov. Oh yes! Russia in front!
Oh, that's a fantastic goal. Lovely turn at the edge of the box it was, still with plenty to do. Right into the roof of the net. What a wonderful strike. But for a moment, Pavlyuchenko had lost the ball. Little toe poke. And there's our man, Billy, smashing it into the back of the net. Well, that'll take the pressure off Russia. Lovely twist, lovely turn, and a great strike.
It's only his 3rd ever goal for his country. He 3 around him, but look at the balance, look at the turn. And more importantly, look at the finish. Russia lead in the playoff. Tottenham feeding Everton. The goal started in North London and finished on Merseyside. That's what David Moyes saw in him. That's what Chris Hiddink sees in it. And he has Russia vitally in front just before half-time.
Did exceptionally well. There's 3 white shots around him. Managed to twist and turn and get clear, and then smash the ball into the back of that Slovenian net.
It's all changed now. You can see a more notable confidence within Russia. Novakovic and Robert Koren of West Brom. Jokic. It's a change scenario all of a sudden for Slovenia. Bersa, but they're pushing forward. Brečko will let fly. And that's presumably why he's never scored for Slovenia.
There's no need to panic when you're away from home and you get into positions like Brečko did here. Here's the twist and turn from Pavlyuchenko, and an even better one from our man Billy. Into the roof of the net. What a strike.
Appropriate that a man now based in Merseyside should provide a twist for millions of Russians to shout. It is firmly now in Slovenia's court to respond, or at least keep it like this. 1-0 would do them going into the second leg in Maribor, but Arshavin looking to change that with a good through ball. It was Billy Letinov who was about to be threaded through again.
Certainly a goal that Russia needed. Seemed to be going nowhere at the time. Looks like it was heading for a 0-0 at half-time, and then that wonderful strike.
Controlled by Pavlyuchenko, and their spirits have definitely raised. Anyukov for Berezutski. Sirianov for Anyukov. Now starting to thread the passes together again, but whereas before it was a case of no penetration, they now have the one-goal cushion that will very happily do heading into half-time. Arshavin wide. Billy Latinov had made the move again towards the area down the left-hand side. They've started pushing him forward a lot more, and it's working.
Well, you can understand why. Well, when they can strike a ball like that, you want them in and around that penalty area.
It's a Slovenian free kick, and you imagine the half-time talk of Matjaž Kek will be slightly different now. Igor Denisov, the offender. Handed down by Dedic, got the flag up against it. He's the third Bundesliga-based player with the side who always seem to find themselves in the bottom six. Boken did well to stay up last season, and same task facing them this. So can you give a quick half-time Slovenian team talk, them having conceded the goal there?
Oh, I mean, conceding the goal is obviously going to be a disappointment to them, but I would think the manager would be saying to them, hey, you've done well, we're away from home here, keep playing, keep defending, oh, don't fall down like he just has done. He's going to get sent off here.
Has been raised, and it's Arshavin involved. It wasn't very clever.
He's got to go off, Will.
It was off the ball, but Klaus Bo Larsen had a clear sight. Brečko is up and okay, but now it's the fate of the man who tangled with him who we're interested in.
I think he's just asked his assistant to give him a view on it as well.
Well, he's like the headmaster, and it is yellow. He may look like a punished schoolboy, but at least he's still on the pitch. He's bundled over And it was the reaction from Ashevin and maybe the reaction from Brečko as well, which...
I think it's probably the right decision. If the player hadn't gone down that dramatic, certainly would have been the right decision, but when you see a player going to ground like the way he did, you tend to think it's a forearm smash and he must get sent off.
I think if it was a forearm smash, Brečko probably wouldn't have got up again. So he was in the position to take the free kick for Slovenia. And for a long time in this first half, but Russia under major pressure, but couldn't convert that. There will be accusing fingers pointed from Slovenia, perhaps towards Klaus Larsen. Sometimes referees need the wisdom of Solomon to make the right decision. He's called this first half to an end, and it's the first half where Russia end in front. Super goal by Dinia Bilyaletinov of Everton. It's Russia 1, Slovenia 0.
On Setanta Sports, enjoy live and exclusive Test match rugby as England take on New Zealand in the Investec Challenge. With more than 100 years of competitive internationals, the All Blacks lead with 25 wins to 6. Watch the 33rd meeting of two of the greatest rugby nations in the world. England versus the All Blacks, November 22nd, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports.
Klaus Larsen with his decision to keep Ashevin on the pitch. Slovenian encouragement just to try and keep the rallying cries at half-time going. Many clenched fists. Well, they have many more in this last 45 of World Cup football to be played on Russian soil this campaign. The host can do no more after this afternoon in front of a home crowd. But it is that goal by the Evertonian that has Russia and Goose hitting in front.
Yeah, it's a big 45 minutes for Slovenia to keep this tie alive. Thought they did remarkably well in the first 45, just fell asleep for that wonderful goal. Edge of the box just didn't close down quickly enough, but in fairness to Bilyadinov, when he let fly, it was always heading for that top corner.
Controlled well by the chest of Pavlyuchenko. Most of his first-team football this season has come for Russia. Touched on by Zhiryanov, and it's a good ball, and the Spurs frontman almost found a way past that formidable back two of Schuler and Cesar, who've been magnificent in the opening 45 at least. It's on by Semak, looking for Pavlyuchenko once more. Good work done by Cesar to deny. Zhiryanov down that right-hand side, so influential in the first half. Shirkov is down the left if he can be found, and he is by Pavlyuchenko. Good first-time cross, but the header by Ashevin not at the same standard.
Well, it's a great start for Russia, piling on the pressure. Wonderful cross into the box. And probably the last man you want sticking his head on this is Ashevin. Not renowned for his goal scoring with his head.
A terrific goal scoring record, as does Pavlyuchenko internationally. They've got Kershakov on the bench, who's got 15. But one man who's lost that altogether because he's hardly been played since joining Stuttgart in the summer. Pavel Pogrebniak will be a spectator all the way through it. Well won back. Adjusted by Dolta-Besa, and trouble for Brečko. It's on by Ashevin. Cherko with the cross, and Pavlyuchenko deflected. And enough sting taken out for Samir Handanovic to claim. but warning signs already for Slovenia. Already a goal down. Robert Koret for Dedic. Complete to the 1-2, and it's Bersa. Cut out well by Ignaciovic. Watched it all the way. Free kick it is, but weren't they so enthusiastic coming out of the dressing room, Slovenia, that they're pumping their fists, get it going, and almost conceding a second here.
Well, it's Pavlyuchenko at that near post. Shots deflected, it's just not really happening for Pavlyuchenko. Berezutski got in the way of it, just blocked it enough.
Well, his international manager still loves him, even if his club manager isn't such a committed fan this campaign. As soon as he comes back from international duty, the reports are that he will slap in a transfer request with Harry Redknapp. Arshavin. Bretsko's got the better of him this time, as he did for much of the first half. Radoslavnovic is in big trouble, and he's given away the free kick, bringing Arshavin down. And this is a useful position for Russia.
I'm not so sure he does a great deal here to bring Arshavin down. I just thought in the first 45 minutes, well, there's a couple of occasions when Arshavin did go to ground quite easily. I think that's what he's got to be worried about, not getting booked for fouling again, but going to ground. Just maybe the Danish referee not liking the fact that he may have dived. Second yellow card from could be off.
Well, Ignaciovic let fly towards the end of the first half, and it was on target. He's over it. And Ignaciovic it is, and it's a good save by Handanovic. It was a real tester.
Oh, that's a brilliant strike from Ignaciovic. Great save from the keeper.
Two great free kicks. Hit with some venom. This time, Handanovic really had to move. Corner by Zirianov. It'll fall for Zhirkov, but pummeled away by Cesar. And there might be a break-up for Zlatko Dedic, but it was well controlled by the man who's just had that free kick.
Well, it certainly is a big test for Slovenia now. They've been under pressure in the first 5 minutes of this second half.
Bouncing for Pavlyuchenko again. Bretsko denying and clearing and keeping it. But the two front men have upped the ante, and that's what Pavlyuchenko's doing now. Good layout for Arshavin, plenty of support. It bounced around. Bilyatnov has got a second, and Russia's second. And they're in pole position now.
Well, it's certainly our man Billy's evening. A wonderful first goal. I'm not so sure he knows a great deal about this one, but it counts. And when you're banging form, when you're riding high, these things drop for you. Wasn't a great pass from Arshavin. Gets the rebound, toe pokes it into the back of the net. Certainly on the evidence of the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, a second goal looked on the cards. Miscontrols it, gets the rebound, quite a lucky rebound, and then into the back of the net.
He's scored twice for Everton this season. He scored twice for Russia tonight. And that might be just about all they need. Slovenia were rank outsiders going into the game. Forward by Shula. It's a good ball, Novakovic, who's been troublesome up front. Bretsko, chance for him to create, and he's found a gap in the middle. Good firm defensive header out, with András Kirim of Wisła Krakow lurking around, and Alexander Anyakov was there at precisely the right time. Has sacrificed some pain, though. Cesar has come up from the back. Kirim is just behind. In by Bersa. Nodded back in by Robert Koren. Radoslavljevic was the man furthest forward. Back for Bersa again. 4 to aim for in the middle. Can't find any of them, but it's another corner kick.
Oh, in fairness to Slovenia, they mean business. Certainly not going to settle for 2-0. Straight away getting on the attack, putting pressure on Russia.
Walter Bersa again. Novakovic is at the back, but it's a short one this time for Dedic. Back for Bersa. 4 to aim for, 5, 6 now in the middle. And somehow he found the Russian head of Bilyatinov, who's done his job at one end and is now doing it at the other so well. Third time's the charm, Bersa. And look who's there to head it away again.
Oh, it's on some night, Bilyatinov. One end of the pitch scoring goals, the other end defending courageously.
Rising in the air, Novakovic, and then Kirim, and straight into the grateful arms of Igor Akanviev, who was beaten for that early goal by Sporting Lisbon in that UEFA Cup final back in 2005, and then they inspire themselves through Joe and Wagner Love to win. Did CSKA. Schürrle. Now Bersa trying to build again. Great break by Jokic down the far side. But they just didn't see it. It's found Brechko somehow. Novakovic and Dedic waiting. Radoslavljevic. And Schürrle. Jokic had good control and a look up. Support was arriving from Novakovic, but was well blocked by Igor Denisov.
I think everyone expected the Russian match winners, if there was going to be any, to be Arshavin and Pavlyuchenko. But it's the man from Everton that's done the damage this evening.
It was being mooted very close before the game that they only field Arshavin of the foreign contingent. Instead, all 4 who play in the Premier League in England have been given their start, and they've contributed. I think all 4 of them were involved right from the start of the move that produced the goal. Marco Schürrle had to revert to a slightly longer ball game, Slovenia. They were content earlier to pass it around, but now they have decided they need to be a bit more decisive. Arshavin. Shirkov. He started one of those runs, but didn't get so far this time. Flag stayed down against Pavlyuchenko. Arshavin had retreated heavily, but he's made his way back up again when the ball does go back. Ultimately all the way. Kanviev's had a good defensive record, only conceding 6 goals in the 10 group games, but Slovenia bettered that. They only let in 4.
Oh, the crowd now right behind the home side, giving them a massive lift.
And with every justification, Arshavin looking for Pavlyuchenko. They may be across the North London divide, but when they put that deep red Russian shirt on, they've got a wonderful relationship. But it's Slovenia on the charge. up until Berezutski put in his foot.
That was a great tackle from Berezutski, just when it looked as if Slovenia would be doing a little bit of damage. Wonderful tackle.
Picked up again by Zhirkov, and it's a super cross originally. It's just curled away, looking for Arshavin. I remember reading at the time that Pavlyuchenko was doing his best to persuade Arshavin to come across to England, thinking he'd go to Tottenham. Close.
I think there are enough players at the moment, Tottenham will. And Harry Redknapp's been told he's got to sell before he brings any more in.
And Andras Kirin. Radosavljevic. There's no doubting Euro 2008 was a wonderful Russian squad that was involved in Switzerland and Austria, but most of them have stayed at home. Jokic, good cross, looking for it. Novakovic again, just needed a bit more behind it. And the reaction of the front man and Slovenia's leading scorer in the competition said everything you needed to know. Has been a day of mourning for Slovenian sport. They've lost one of their top sportsmen. The mountaineer Tomaž Humar died in the Himalayas this morning. And at the moment they're not getting any extra cheer from this. Brechka has done well. Zhirkov got the foot in and has mopped up the trouble. They have the throw to Russia. Time for changes very soon though, Lou, you'd imagine.
I think Slovenia have not got to panic, Will. Conceded that goal, 2-0 down, still a second leg to go at home Wednesday night, and I've got to say, in the evidence of the first 60 minutes, I think they're a tidy little side on the home pitch. We may have game on still on Wednesday.
Vladimir Bistrov of Zenit St. Petersburg, who decided to leave the club before their UEFA Cup winning run. He's come on in place of Sergei Shamak, who will now watch the rest of the match in a beautiful tartan rug. It's cold enough for that, after Luzhniki. Brechka with space down the right-hand side. Spent 6 years in the Bundesliga, but never really got much of a look at Hamburg, and as soon as Martin Jol took over, he sold him. Picked up by Novakovic, who supported the middle from Dedic. May not need him. Overplayed it, Kirin at the back. The final touch by Anyukov. And it is a corner kick instead of a free kick for Russia.
Well, I think Anyukov was looking for a free kick. Danish referee having none of it. He says it's a corner. Oh, there's a little push in the back there.
Again, it's ball to Birsa, who'll take. Radosavljevic is in the middle, and Novakovic, they're fighting their territory, fighting to get back in this playoff. Cesar's touch, crossed by Kirin, never looked good.
Well, in fairness to Slovenia, they're having a go, trying to look for that goal from their point of view and keep this tie well and truly alive. Be proud of his team, the manager.
Well, they embarked on a tremendous run towards the end of their campaign, 4 wins and a loss, which got them into the top 2. Beat Slovakia home and away, who ended up winning the group. Chipped up well by Denisov, might drop to Arshavin again. Slovakia ended up winning the group on a snowy night in Warsaw against Poland, who were apoplectically bad in the campaign. Cross from Zhirkov is good enough for the corner. It went off Koren somewhere.
Well, it's vital from a Slovenian point of view. They don't concede a third goal.
It's the skipper to take. Pavlyuchenko well marked. They all were in the end. Bystrov on the chase to try and get his first touch, but to no acclaim. Arshavin again has a bit of space, not enough to create though. Back by Zhirkov again, and back by Ignashevich. Here's some defensive cover for Chelsea. Zhirkov. No, a lot of the top South American clubs will sign a player and then just loan him away for a few months if necessary.
Well, he's done well tonight, Will, especially going forward. Looked a real handful every time he's got on that ball and started to move forward. And of course that wonderful run he had in the first half. So unlucky he didn't score.
Just the finish in the end, wasn't it? Could have connected a bit harder and really would have tested Handanovic. It's a Slovenian ball. Retaken throw, Brečka. Was held up, was expecting a whistle. But they've done well to claim it back through Kirin. Pinballed a few passes around. Novakovic is in support and a chance to turn and find Bersa, and the cross was good. Might have needed to conjure another. And a familiar figure's on the deck in the Russian area again.
Oh, I think this was a great chance for Bersa. Originally it was to shoot. Clash of heads there with Arshavin. On the build-up to that incident, thought it was a great opportunity for Bersa, edge of the box, to have a shot and test the Russian goalkeeper. Decided to chip it into the area.
Long by Igor Akinviev. A beautiful ball. He went for it first time, did Pavlyuchenko, and he almost bore fruit. He's such a danger man when on form, and tonight he certainly is.
Oh, that's the best thing he's done the whole evening, Pavlyuchenko. Left-footed shot, tight angle, good strike, good save from the keeper.
Slovenia are going to make their first change of this playoff. 24 minutes remaining, and they're bringing off the man based in Bochum. Zlatko Dedic replaced by Zlatan Ljubijankic of Ghent, just over the road in Belgium from Bochum. 2 goals in the campaign, and he's a 6-footer. Make of that what you will. It's Russia on the charge though. Aim for Pavlyuchenko again, and Schuler had to judge that right, but the Russian waves are coming now. Billy Latinov. And controlled and cleared. Koren came back. Ljubijankic is putting pressure on Akinviev. He's big, Novakovic is big. Kirim's got a bit of height too. So if they need to play it a bit more direct, they have the option now, Luke.
Well, it always is a good option to have, Will, especially when you're coming from behind. Balls from the back up to a big centre forward.
Touches by Zhirkov, but it's a Slovenian attack with Brečko, who's got four waiting in the middle. There's a super ball in. Novakovic lurking still, and it went beyond Radosavljevic, who'd found himself in a central position, and he's out of position as Russia push forward now. Suryanov, perfect ball, Pavlyuchenko, straight at Handanovic. It could have been the winning of the tie.
Well, it's unfortunate here, Pavlyuchenko just got his stretch to head this one. Can't get the power that's needed to get past the goalkeeper. But a wonderful Russian move.
And they did rush, and Pavlyuchenko so close to his sixth goal of the campaign. He's the leading scorer in this World Cup qualifying campaign. Almost on. We feel they're beginning to turn through in Slovenia a bit now.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, when leaving the tributes of the stadium, please don't hurry and be attentive.
Forward looking for Ljubijankic again. Scored at Wembley in September. This was almost a concession of a wonderful dramatic diving goal, reminiscent of Keith Houchen.
Well, except Keith Houchen's finished in the back of the net. Well, Pavlyuchenko just a little bit unfortunate, had to stretch.
Forward by Zhiryanov, and the flag has stayed down. But no finish this time from Bistrov.
Oh, surprised the flag did stay down. He looked a yard or two offside, but when he gets into this wonderful position, it's a wrong decision. There was nowhere to chip the goalkeeper. Really should have smashed it with his left foot, and that could have put Russia into the World Cup finals. I still don't think they're home and dry.
Well, there's still a second leg to come Wednesday night in the manager's hometown of Maribor, but 3-0 surely would have been too large a gap for Slovenia to plug. As it is, it's 2, and it's Ljubijankic who's won the throw, put out by Berezutski. And the corner's been won by Ljubijankic now.
Well, they haven't really been dangerous from any of the previous corners, Slovenia. Let's see if they can get enough white shots in there and cause Russia some sort of problem.
It's Birsa's corner. And every flag kick seems to see more Slovenians being pushed forward. Just came off the back of Cesar. Suler had missed it. They've got very few back. It's Arshavin. 3 against 3. Kept his feet but couldn't keep possession, and West Brom's Robert Corrin has put it out.
Oh, Slovenian players there adamant there was a push in the box. They thought they should have had a penalty from the corner kick, and then a breakaway from Russia. A great chance for Arshavin to find a teammate, held on to it too long.
Held up by Kirin. Well, he's definitely contributed a lot since coming on as Ljubijankic. But Denisov, and he's been outnumbered. Just on by Bilyatinov and Arshavin. Moving forward again, Pavlyuchenko on the overlap. Arshavin didn't have enough pace in the end. But they saw the gap, they saw the space. Arshavin in the end just didn't have enough. Bilyatinov Good chip up again for Bistrov of Zenit. And he's round at Brechko and he's got the cross. Touchdown for Zhirkov.
Difficult now for Slovenia with 18 minutes to go. Do they sit back and take the 2-0, or do they go forward and get caught by Russia in the counter-attack?
Ilya Letinov, short for Zhirkov again. Slovenian free kick. Foul on Jokic. Not a nation where they tend to travel for work, so there's only about 200 Slovenians who actually live in Ireland, but the goals apart, hope you're enjoying it. Thanks to the Slovenian who helped with the pronunciations earlier in the week, Ms. Gersha. Touched on by Arshavin. Kirim. Nodded down by Ignashevich. Put a lot into the game so far, Slovenia, but not got a lot out.
No, but it's, I think, a little indication to what Wednesday night may hold well. They look quite a good side. They've been a bit unfortunate. They did concede that second goal.
Too high for Jokic, and another hole is open in the Slovenian defence. Yet again, Pavlyuchenko waits, but Schuller got the head to it first. Here goes Kirim away. And Zhirkov at close quarters, Brechko forward. Corin. They've been outnumbered in the stands, and it's beginning to feel like they're being outnumbered on the pitch as well. Held up by Ilya Letinov. Good control by Zirianov, and now Arshavin again. And the Evertonian got a bit excited.
That's the first thing he's done wrong this evening. It's been a great evening for him. And it looks like it's going to be a great evening for Russia. Just starting to take control now, knocking that ball about.
And they're about to bring Dmitry Saichev on as well. Picked up by Kirim. On the run, don't forget, other playoffs this evening. Greece-Ukraine kicks off at 6, followed by Portugal against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Both live here on Setanta, Ireland. Flick on was good, but a fine play by Igor Akanfiev. It's been a really busy day of international football. These are the key games. New Zealand qualifying for the World Cup earlier today. 2 non-qualifiers meeting across the Waterloo. Sorry for mentioning it.
I thought you weren't going to mention it. It's a horrible result for Scotland. Can't believe it when I saw the scoreline, 3-0 against Wales. No disrespect to the Welsh, but they found goals hard to come by in previous internationals, and then they go and bang in 3 against Scotland. I think it's wake-up time for Scotland, though, Will. If that doesn't send a message out to people about the state of Scottish football, then nothing will.
So Dalibor Stefanovic is on. Second change for Slovenia, replacing Volta Besa of Auxerre. Stefanovic plays his football in the Dutch league with Vitesse Arnhem. Brechko. First touch for the new man, Stefanovic. Had support in front by Novakovic, but just couldn't put much behind the attempted pass. Bojan Jokic has beavered tonight, all night for Slovenia. A lot of work put in. And they're about to make their third change. This looks like Nate's Pečnik of Nacional in Portugal, as Russia prepare to bring on Dmitry Zaychev. Both managers are playing their extra cards down now. Headed on by Ignashevich. Helped by Novakovic, but it is a Russian free kick ultimately. And those extra changes can now be made. Russia preparing for their second, Slovenia their third and last. And Roman Pavlyuchenko won't get on the score sheet tonight, though he's come close on a couple of good occasions. Instead, it's another Premier League player who's made his mark. Pavlyuchenko to be replaced by Dmitry Zaychev of Lokomotiv Moscow for his 46th international appearance, the fourth youngest scorer ever in the World Cup finals when he netted in the 2002 edition against Belgium, and it was the winning goal. He was only 18 at the time. Even Norman Whiteside couldn't manage that. Taking up a good position in the middle already as Zaychev. With the Jankic on the chase, and it's a vain one, put out by Ignashevich.
Well, it's no great surprise to me, that substitution, Will. Pavlyuchenko going off. Hasn't been one of his better nights. The Russian manager looking for a bit of work rate now from Zaychev in that midfield area.
Slovenia's manager looking for some fruit tonight as well, aimed at András Kirim, but plucked out of the air by Akanfiev. He's got stuck in already as Zaychev. Free kick against him. Actually the right man to bring on at this stage. He's scored 15 times already for Russia, Zaychev, and when he scores, Russia never lose. It's Jokic's throw in vain. Slovenia have done well to keep their heads up. They're still bombing a few in anyway. I was never going to test Akanfiev, but at least on target.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing we can say about them in this second half. Even though they've gone two behind, they've tried to keep playing, kept their heads held high, as you say, Will, and I still think there's a game on Wednesday night.
Arshavin tried to thread it through to Bistrov and just found himself outnumbered ultimately. Oh, trouble!
He's off.
Big trouble. Yellow card for the new man. That was Zaychev's challenge, and it was his second challenge in as many minutes too.
That's why I thought he might have gone off. It was a clumsy challenge from Zaychev. Lunges in. There he goes.
Nowhere near the ball. His two contributions so far have been fouls. And this is Nate Pečnik, who's the third arrival for Slovenia. Portugal-based. And on for András Kirim. Made his debut against Northern Ireland in April and has played a part ever since, pretty much. And this is his first touch tonight. Nate Pečnik. Brechko. Pečnik again, and dispossessed by Zhirkov. He didn't react too well to that challenge, I must say. Held his head a bit, but When possession came back his way, he touched it on. It's Denisov now. Again, Zirkov. And they can control it and play down the clock. Enjoyed it though, Lou?
Oh, I've been pleased with the away side in particular, Will, because I thought they may be lambs to the slaughter tonight. Come here to Moscow and get overrun by Russia, but it hasn't been the case. We'll still have a great deal of hope, I think, for Wednesday evening.
An away goal, a goal back at this stage though would be vital. Keep the tie alive again. Would massively complicate it from a Russian point of view. They have the free kick. Cesar with the challenge. Massive experience for Goose, who I doubt will rest on his laurels and feel that he's got a fourth side qualified for a World Cup already. Ziranov not with good control, Zirkov, and with the man down, Slovenia played on. It's ramped up the pressure, Bistrov with the effort this time. Schuler down and back up, and a bit of Slovenian unhappiness that play was allowed continue by Klaus Bo Larsen.
Well, I think the referee took the view he doesn't look that seriously injured.
Bit of chiropractic going on though for Mauro Schuler. It's like a cup final for him. He's played at a cup final at each of his three clubs and lost them all. Again, it's a good throw for Zaitsev, who made a bit of space. Bistrov under pressure from Jokic, who has put in a superb innings tonight. Bistrov's been useful since coming on for Shemak. Good header and almost a hat-trick. Bilyatinov, good connection.
I thought this looked like a foul throw to start with, but up go the hands. A few Slovenian players claiming it was a foul throw. Bilyatinov almost getting his hat-trick.
He has been smashing. And he came into the night having only ever scored 2 goals for Russia. He's doubled his international tally. He's doubled the number of goals he scored this season. Been a perfect night for him. Another shrewd Moyes sign. This is Brechko. Good ball in towards the middle. Has it open up finally for the new man. Pechnik couldn't keep it on target.
Oh, that's a reasonable chance for Pechnik. I know he's just come on, but inside the box. Ball drops kindly for him with his left foot. Never really convincing. Way off target. In these big games, you're just, for Slovenian, you're hoping that your player takes advantage of half a chance.
It's a good header on again by Zaitsev, who has been just about everywhere since coming on. He's crammed a lot into his opening 7 minutes on the pitch. Again, here goes Nate Pechnik. Support from Novakovic. Jokic drilled it in, and it's been headed home by Pechnik, and he's got them back in the game, and they have the away goal, and suddenly this playoff is alive again.
Well, I always did think it was alive, Will, even though the scoreline was 2-0. I never thought that the Slovenians dropped their heads and they kept playing, and they certainly got the reward. Great save from the goalkeeper, but unfortunately for him, drops to Pechnik, an easy chance into the back of the net. Well, if you're Russian, don't be going booking your hotels yet.
It's only his second goal in international football. Only made his debut on April Fool's Day against Northern Ireland. But his goal on what's been a glum day for Slovenian sport has brought them right back into the World Cup shake-up. Russia need to up a gear. Flags up for offside against Igor Shemshov. That's Billy again, who's still looking for that hat-trick, and he's been close to it.
Well, I've got to say they deserved a goal. They've kept going. Russian onslaught it was for the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, but their heads didn't drop even though they conceded a goal, and they've certainly got the reward.
They couldn't conceivably get more, could they? Ljubijankic has given away the free kick, but what a time to score. 3 minutes to go. Nate Pečnik, and Slovenia live again.
And here is the goal. Great shot with the left foot. Good save from the goalkeeper, in fairness to him, but it just drops where he doesn't want it to drop. Right onto the head of Pečnik, into the back of the net.
Brečko intervened at the right time for Slovenia at the other end. It is a Russian free kick. Scant reward for what was a super save by Igor Akanfiev. And he may need to pull another one out before game's end. It's a free kick for a shove on Radosavljevic. Russian-based with Tomsk.
Well, what is pleasing, Will, when you see a country like Slovenia, who maybe 10 years ago, it'd be a dream draw for Russia to get them in this situation, because you beat them and beat them comfortably, but not anymore. They've progressed, and they're not bad at all.
Brečko with a good ball. Akanfiev came to claim and punched out and got enough behind it. Away by Denisov. They're on the march again. Away with Zirianov. And too far beyond Andrei Arshavin. On paper, it looked like a convincing Russian win, especially when they won 2-0 up. Goals either side of half-time from Diniar Bilia-Letinov, a man whose name now everybody knows. But Slovenia still now have something to play for. The game not yet dead. You won't agree if you're Russian, but it's just what the tie needed from a neutral point of view.
Well, I did think at 2-0 down, I still thought the tie was alive, Will, and I'm even more convinced now that on Wednesday night we've got a cracking game in prospect.
Shoved by Zhirkov on Pečnik, whose only previous goal had come against Slovakia last month. Helped them win, helped deny Slovakia for half a week. Good firm header away. Couldn't find Arshavin. It's gone beyond the back. He's there again. Great save. And it's a match saver by Akanfiev. He's kept Russia in it.
Well, when that ball comes back in, it looked as if there was 3 Slovenian players in an offside position. Flag didn't go up. And what a save from the goalkeeper. What a save.
Marko Šuler almost made himself a Slovenian hero for all time. This is why Igor Akanfiev, with so many great Russian keepers around, is their number one. Stefanovic's long corner went beyond Koren. Aren't they making a game of it now, Slovenia? And they have a throw. Jokic will take. What an extraordinary finish. Koren. Bilyatinov out. Another Slovenian throw.
Well, they're actually rushing for the ball now. That's a Slovenian side. They're desperate to get the ball back in play. They can smell a 2-2. I think they'll be happy with 2-1, but...
Comes towards the back post, towards Pečnik again. And he's got 3 to aim for in the middle, but found a Russian head. Brečko. Who was expecting this finish? Good ball to find Radosavljevic again. Brečko's been denied, and it is a white ball again, despite the protestations of Ignašević. It's Brečko's throw. Good flick on by Pečnik, and it's a corner. What an extraordinary end. And the natives are restless, you can hear it.
Well, they're all whistling around the stadium. They want the referee to blow for full time.
It'll be floated in again by Stefanovic. Racing to the back post is Novakovic to keep it alive. Still men to aim for. He ran it out. That might just be last chance saloon. And aren't Russia pleased? It looked as if they were going to coast when they were 2-0 up with goals either side of half-time from Diniyar Bilyaletdinov. But Slovenia fought back. Consolation goal from Nate Pečnik makes it interesting for the second leg. Russia 2, Slovenia 1.